Hello, everyone, and welcome to movie flashback number 24. In this flashback, we are going behind the scenes of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Ah! If you are new to this channel, click the subscribe button below for future notifications and updates. Click the like button to share this content with other movie fans. I am so excited about this movie flashback. OMG! This year we are celebrating the 50th, the 50th anniversary of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh, yes! It was directed by Australian theater director Jim Sharman. It was distributed by RKO Pictures, which was later renamed to 20th Century Fox. It stars Tim Curry, Susan Sarandon, and Barry Bostwick. It was released in theaters in the UK on August 24th, 1975, and it was released in the US on September 26th. The running time is 100 minutes. It had a budget of $1.4 million and it grossed $166 million at the box office. I have watched this movie a few times over the years, and I probably last saw it 5-6 years ago. But when it came time to come up with a list of movies I wanted to do a flashback for this year, Rocky Horror came up, and I was doing my research. I realized the movie never left theaters. It is still in theaters. OMG! Not only is the story a wild one, but the making of the movie is also a fascinating story. But anyway, what bothers me is Rocky Horror is seen as simply just an LGBT movie. And as a straight person, I have always had fun watching this movie. So to me, I think it appeals to everyone. If you have never watched this movie, Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick play Janet and Brad, a young couple who is engaged. They are driving on a highway on a rainy night, and their car breaks down near a castle. So they visit the castle to find help with their car. And they end up visiting the castle of Dr. Frank N. Furter, played by Tim Curry, who is a scientist and an alien transvestite from the planet transsexual in the galaxy of Transylvania, who is working on creating a human man named Rocky. And in this castle, there are strange people who got together to have a party. So this film is considered to be a musical comedy horror flick, which is a strange combination of genres. But it works. Okay, it so works. So this film is one of the most unique movies ever made. And the songs in this film are so good and so catchy. And to me, Dr. Frank is probably my favorite character in this movie. I think he's hilarious, especially when you watch the scene where he is hitting on Janet and Brad. Okay, he got the hots for both of them, and I think it's funny. But the horror elements in the story are still there. So the plot is a crazy chain of events. This movie is so good on so many levels. If you haven't watched it, please watch it at least once in your life. It never left theaters. So how the movie came about, the screenwriter Richard O'Brien was an unemployed actor in London during the early 1970s. So he wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show in one winter season while he was in solitude. The idea was to combine sci-fi, B-horror movies, and 1950s rock and roll music. And at the time he wrote the story, glam rock was popular in England. So there was that element thrown in there in his story. So O'Brien and Jim Sharman were friends, and he showed his story to Jim. Jim decided he wanted to put it on stage in London as an experiment. So he got together with the production designer and the costume designer and producer Michael White. The show premiered at the Royal Court Theatre in London, which was a 60-seat theater. Very small. But the audience grew, so the production was moved to Chelsea Classic Cinema, which at the time seats 230 people. Then it moved again to a 500-seat theater named King's Row Theatre in November 1973, where it played for 6 years. Then the show premiered in Los Angeles in 1974, and then it moved to New York City. Another producer, Lou Adler, saw a performance in London, and it was his idea to buy the theatrical rights. O'Brien was signed on to write the script, Sharman was signed on to direct the movie, and most of the production team and the cast were hired to work on the film. Tim Curry played Dr. Frank on stage in London, so he was hired to play Dr. Frank in the movie, and it was Tim Curry's first movie role. He went on to star in many films, including Annie. He played Miss Hannigan's brother, Rooster. Annie is one of my favorite movies from my childhood. Carol Burnett played Miss Hannigan, one of my favorite comedic actors in my childhood. Love her so much. The only two actors that were not part of the original stage production of the Rocky Horror Picture Show was Sarandon and Boswick. So the movie went into production in Berkshire, England in 1974. And then it went into post-production from October to December 1974. When the movie was initially released, it was actually a flop at the box office, and it got negative reviews. Probably because the public was not ready for a movie with LGBT characters like Dr. Frank. We're talking about the 1970s during the feminist movement, right before the gay rights movement. But the movie was doing very well in Los Angeles. So one of the marketing execs at RKO decided to show the film as a midnight movie in April 1976. Then it was shown at the Seattle International Film Festival as a secret movie. The midnight screenings worked, and the movie developed a fan following. Eventually, people started showing up to theaters in costume, and it never left the theaters to this day. Rocky Horror is considered to be the longest running theater release in film history. How is that? RKO, which was renamed to 20th Century Fox, had a policy that allowed archival movies to be available to theaters at any time. Then, in 2019, Disney bought 20th Century Fox and continued honoring that policy in regards to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. In 2005, the movie was selected for preservation at the U.S. National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being, and I quote, culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant, end quote. So today, in 2025, the movie has an international cult following, and it is still playing in theaters. By the end of 1976, the movie grossed $11 million, so it already started to make a profit within a year. But by 1980, the total box office revenue shot up to approximately $69 million. By 1984, the box office receipts reached $100 million. By 1990, it reached $125 million. And by 2007, it grossed $166 million at the box office. And keep in mind, folks, we're talking about a $1.4 million budget. Holy Moses. And more great news. Disney has spent the last 10 months creating a 4K remaster of the movie, which will be on Blu-ray in October of this year. This is very exciting news. So, I want to propose a toast to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, one of the greatest movies ever made, and also one of the few movies that is keeping the theater-going tradition alive. Cheers! I'm just having lemon water. So that is all for today, my friends. Thank you for watching, as always, and I will see you next time with another movie flashback. Take care, and God bless.